Welcome back. We're at Sterling High School, where today the Sterling Silver Knights play host to the Collingswood Panthers. Cammie Trinidad and Bob Marlowe bringing you all the action for Garden State Cable TV, and we'd like to take this opportunity to wish a happy holiday season to all of our friends in the Garden State viewing area. You have a chance here to see the Sterling Silver Knights. They're huddled around Coach Bill Townsend. The Knights are 5-2 and 4-2 in the conference coming into today's game. And the Collingswood Panthers, they are coached by Ron Ross. They're 5-3, 3-3 coming in the conference. And there you have a chance to see the Panthers. And we'd like to also take this opportunity to congratulate the Collingswood football team also on the fine season they had, and also the Collingswood wrestling team. We'll see one of those. There is number 13, Koss, the younger Koss. Rick Koss had a fine season for Collingswood Panthers. And Bob will take a look at that defense in the field.
Sterling will line up defensively this way today. At third base, Bill Scheffler. At shortstop, Jim Blair. At second base will be Frank Gagliardi. First base will be Bill Peters. In left field, Mike Coladonato. Center field, Jay Brook. In right field will be Bob Shelley. Doing the catching, Chris Baker. On the mound, John Miller.
Okay, and for the Collingswood Panthers today, batting, top of the order, John Bachman, followed by Anthony Ladick, Jerry Gateline, cleaning up John Melfi, followed by Matt Boyer, Rick Koss, Greg DiDonato, Jerry Davidson, and rounding it out, Eric Barnes. And the first batter up for Collingswood today, John Bachman, enjoying a fine season. Bachman batting .457, and Collingswood coming off an incredible game over the weekend where they met the Pittman Panthers. It's Panthers versus the Panthers. 20 hits in that game by Collingswood.
Well, we talked about the explosive offense of both of these teams, Cammie. They can put runs on the board.
That's right, and Bachman has 8 runs to his name. And I have a correction here on the batting average. His batting average is .269. But he also leads the Panthers in bases on balls with 9. So we'll look for John Bachman to try to get on base.
The Sterling team, as we talked about, suffered a tough loss to Audubon earlier in the year, 3-2. Great pitching duel, Laxton and Newkowski.
And interestingly enough, Collingswood also gave Audubon quite a hard time. They lost 4-1 in a game where Corso pitched a 5-hitter and actually had an outstanding performance, again, with all of the pros, scouts out looking at Laxton.
Well, these are those games, you could have won, and those same woulda, coulda, shouldas. If you don't win them, it's just another L, no matter how well you played.
That's right.
John Bachman stepping in the leadoff for Collingswood. Bachman playing right field today for Collingswood. First pitch from Miller. Ground ball towards second. Gagliardi. Over to Peters. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Bachman grounds out. That'll bring up Anthony Ladick. Ladick batting .404. Ladick has 10 hits for 25 at-bats this season.
First pitch down low to Anthony Ladick.
No, I have chairs down there.
1-0 pitch from Miller. Slap foul on the right side of spinner. Peters picks it up in foul territory.
I'll get him. Stay there.
Miller coming into today's game is 3-0. He's pitched 21 innings and given up 20 hits, 9 runs. But he struck out 23, having a very, very good season. Strikeout king here for Sterling.
1-1 pitch to Laddick. Fastball just up high for ball 2. 3 balls, 1 strike to number 2 hitter Anthony Laddick.
You take a look at Miller's stats. He's only issued 4 bases on balls in the 4 games he's pitched, Bob. That's not bad.
Not bad at all. 3-1 here. Right side, coming hard. Shelley puts it away. So Miller retires the first 2 batters he faces here in the first inning.
Up now, Jerry Gateline, rather. We saw him last during an outstanding football game, Collingswood met Haddonfield here on Garden State Cable, and what a show this young man put on as running back. Coming in today, Gateline batting .461.
Takes upstairs for ball 1.
Gateline also pitches for the Panthers.
On a mound today. Miller, quick worker. Left field, going back, Donato gets under, puts it away. So Collingswood retired in order here in the top of the first. Good job done by Miller.
Way to go, Miller!
Okay, and we'll see the Collingswood Panthers take the field. And Sterling Silver Knights pick up their bats here in the bottom of the first. We are scoreless, and we'll take a look at the Collingswood defense.
Third base, Matt Boyer. Shortstop will be Anthony Laddick. At second will be Rick Koss. Playing first base is John Melfi. Left field is Greg DiDonato. In center will be Eric Barros. And in right, John Bachman. Doing the catching, Jerry Davis.
You see the players gather around Jerry Gateline as he gets ready to take the mound for Collingswood. He'll face Shelley, Baker, and Peters. Shelley batting .556 coming into today's contest.
Good shot from our center field camera today. Looking right in at Jerry Davidson. Left field, long run for DiDonato. He's not going to get there. Big foul territories here at Sterling. Left field line. The fences angle out down the right field line. They have a chalk mark, but it's got to be almost 100 yards from the left field foul line to the out of bounds. Plenty of room for foul balls to be caught here.
Shelley, just a junior. As Bob had mentioned earlier, Townsend building this team around a nucleus of just 3 varsity lettermen.
Bob Shelley way up in the front of the batter's box against Gateline. Takes that in the dirt. 2 balls, 1 strike. Sterling, a defending co-champion of the Colonial Conference.
Gateline coming in today 2-1.
Ground ball, third baseman Boyer. Across to Melfi. Shelley's retired for out number 1 here in the first.
Up now, Chris Baker. Baker batting .391 coming into today. He's got 9 hits for 23 at-bats. Baker's junior captain of this team's the catcher.
Line drive, center field, base hit. Good ball, gets past Barros. Going to roll all the way to the fence. Baker going for 2. He's going to stay there.
All right, Baker.
And you can hear the Sterling Knight fans, the appreciative applause here.
Not a hard hit ball. Barros came over. The ball took a high hop over his glove. DiDonato backed him up, tracked the ball down. Well, we'll have a double by Chris Baker.
And that'll bring up Bill Peters. Peters batting .591 coming in today. Peters, the RBI leader of the Sterling Silver Knights with 10.
Gatlin out of the stretch. Peters fouls it straight back for strike one. I was talking to Sterling coach Ralph Townsend before the game. Bill Peters has a batting cage built in his backyard. I played a lot of ball with his dad, Bill Sr., and he was a long ball hitter, and Coach Townsend tells me young Billy's the same thing. Ground ball. Gatlin has it. They have the runner hung up now. We're going to have a rundown. Well, they get Baker. Peters makes it to second base on the play. Good play by Peters going for the bag at second. The rundown almost sure to get the guy tug out. Peters advances all the way to second. Baker stayed in the rundown long enough to give Peters a chance to get the second.
So with two away here in the bottom of the first, that'll bring up Tom Nukowski, the DH for Jim Blair. Nukowski, an honor student here at Sterling, headed for Princeton. Also a fine pitcher. Nukowski batting .471 coming in today.
Now, Jared Gatlin helped himself there fielding that ball. He don't make the stop. That's through for a base hit. Nukowski fouls it back, chases the high fastball for strike one.
Nukowski with 8 hits for 17 at bats.
Breaking ball outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Peters at second, 2 outs here in the bottom of the first, no score. Big hole on the right side, second baseman Rick Koss trying to keep Peters close to the bag. Good breaking ball by Gatlin. One ball, 2 strikes to Tom Nukowski. Gatlin's 1-2 pitch. Another breaking ball hit on the right side, foul.
Gatlin is an ERA of 2.89, and he has struck out 23. However, big statistic here, he's given up 22 hits in his games, and again, a couple of those games, real tough ones. One they lost to Haddonfield.
One ball, 2 strikes on Tom Nukowski. DHing today for Jim Blair. Takes the fastball outside. Counts even now at 2.
He's got short, you got second, all they'll let you have. All they'll let you have.
Comes with shortstop Anthony Laddick way over in the hole. So second baseman Rick Koss has to play to the bag. They're giving Nukowski the right side of the infield. Outside for ball 3.
A full count now to the batter, and there are 2 out here in the bottom of the first. We are scoreless.
Three-two pitch by Gatlin. Swing and a miss. The ball's dropped by Davidson. He'll make the throw to first. Melfi has it. Out number 3. So Collingswood retired here in the first. No runs. They have 1 hit. They leave 1. At the end of 1 full inning, we have no score.
Welcome back. Melfi up for Collingswood as we are in the top of the second inning. No score. Melfi will be followed by Matt Boyer and Rick Koss.
First pitch to Melfi was up high for ball 1. Same spot, 2 balls, no strikes to John Melfi.
Melfi batting .409 coming in today. He's got 9 hits for 22 at bats and 9 RBIs. Leads the Panthers in RBIs.
Oh, Melfi walks on 4 pitches. First walk issued by Miller.
And with Melfi going to first, that'll bring up Matt Boyer. Matt Boyer batting .259. He's got 8 RBIs.
Our first chance to look at Miller out of the stretch.
Matt Boyer still making up his college.
Good bunt, nobody covering first.
He missed the tag.
Well, Boyer dropped a nice bunt. Gagliardi real late getting over to the bag. Miller tried to make the tag himself. That'll put first and second now for Collingswood with nobody out.
That brings up Rick Koss. Koss batting .409 coming in. He's got 9 hits for 22 at bats. Koss is a junior. Good student also. He's in the top 28% of his class.
So another bunt situation here for Collingswood. Melfi at second, Boyer at first, nobody out. Swings away, pops it up in the infield. We got an infield fly rule. Blair puts it away. So after bunting Boyer, they elect to hit away with Koss. He pops up for out number 1.
That brings up Greg DiDonato. DiDonato batting .315. He's got 6 hits for 19 at bats.
A little surprised there. Ron Ross elected to hit away, Cammy. I thought he'd bunt, try to move those runners up.
DiDonato with 3 doubles leads the Panthers in that category.
Check swing down a right field line. It's going to drop for a base hit. Here comes Melfi around. He's going to score. Boyer heading for third. So a little punch single by DiDonato. Checked his swing and ball down a right field line. Drops in front of Shelley. Melfi scores easily. Collingswood takes a 1-0 lead.
Now with runners at second and third, that brings up Jerry Davidson. Davidson batting 3s across, 3-3-3. He's only had 12 at-bats this year, and he's had 4 hits.
Takes a fastball in for strike 1. Sterling
Davidson.
coach Ralph Townsend now moving the infield up, trying to cut the run here. Chases the breaking ball. No balls, 2 strikes. Good pitch by Miller. Had Davidson fooled on a pitch. So Miller out ahead of Davidson. No balls, 2 strikes.
Come on, John, you can do it. One more.
Looking for the strikeout here. A big out. Only 1 out in the inning. Good cut at the fastball. Foul straight back. Count stays. No balls, 2 strikes.
Davidson, another junior on this Collingswood squad. Looks down at Ron Ross for his instructions. Collingswood up right now 1-0. We are in the top of the second.
See a little different style of coaching from these 2 coaches. Cammy, Ron Ross elects to coach third. Ralph Townsend stays on the sidelines.
Yeah, he puts one of his students out on third.
0-2 pitch. Breaking ball. Davidson holds up. Outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Miller out of the stretch. 1-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. Davidson knew it. Took pitch on the outside corner. Big strikeout there for John Miller.
The 2 outs now. Collingswood with 2 on base, second and third. This brings up Eric Barros, and we inadvertently I had announced him as Barnes. Eric Barros. Barros batting .411.
Up high with the fastball.
Barros with 7 hits for 17 at bats this year.
1-0 pitch. Outside, ball 2.
Come on, John, throw strikes.
With this big field at Sterling, the backstop, however, is not very far behind the plate, only about 10 or 12 feet behind the catcher. 2-0 pitch. 3 balls, no strikes to Eric Barros.
Barros just a sophomore here for Ron Ross.
So Barros walks on 4 pitches. That'll load the bases.
Go to the top of the order now for Collingswood with John Bachman heading to the plate.
Bachman grounded out to second base the first pitch of the ball game in the first inning.
And Chris Baker talking to John Miller.
Boyer's at third, DiDonato's at second, Barros at first. Miller out of the windup with 2 outs. Starts Bachman off with the fastball at the knees for strike 1. Fly ball, right field, Shelley. Easy play. Puts it away. Collingswood's retired here in the second. They score 1 run on 2 hits. They leave 3 at the end of 1.5 innings. Collingswood 1, Sterling nothing.
It's 1-0. Collingswood Panthers lead it here in the bottom of the second inning. Sterling coming to bat. Cammie Trinidad and Bob Marlowe here for Garden State Cable. Happy to be bringing you this game that is not in the rain. A little bit chilly, but certainly we'll take it over what we've seen the last couple of days here in South Jersey. Having a hard time jump-starting spring. And Sterling cut the damages in that last half inning, Bob.
Yeah, that was the strikeout that Miller had gotten was a big out. I gave him out number 2. Collingswood leaving the bases loaded. That's one of those turnaround innings. A base hit breaks it open for Collingswood. Sterling gets the out instead, keeps the game at 1-0.
Okay, up right now for Bill Scheffler for Sterling.
Fair ball down the left field line. DiDonato cuts it off, holds Scheffler to a single.
Scheffler will be followed by Mike Collidonato and John Miller.
Second hit off gate line.
Collidonato batting .526 coming into today's contest. He's got 10 hits for 19 at-bats. Second leading RBI man here for Sterling with 8. You can see Ralph Townsend's coming in to talk to his batter. Coldonato, also a junior. He came from Southern California. His coach says he doesn't like the weather here. Gee, I wonder why.
I mean, this isn't like Southern California. Tries to bunt. Fouls it on the right side.
Let's see, we will tell Mike that East Coast girls are hip, yes. So.
So we see, even though Ralph Townsend doesn't coach third base, the signs are still given.
Yeah, the signs are.
By
we're
Ralph
watching,
on the bench.
Watching Ralph here on the side.
Scheffler at first, he singled to open the inning. 1 strike on Coldonato. He tries to bunt again. No balls, 2 strikes. That's not going to make Coach Townsend happy. Not a very good attempt by Colorado. He has to get that ball down on only the strikes. That pitcher's out of the strike zone. He chased it low. Gives Gatlin the advantage now. No balls, 2 strikes.
Mike, what do you say, Mike?
Turns again. The bunt takes it up high. So Sterling pulling a little surprise here. Coldonado with 2 strikes. Attempt to bunt there. Gatlin out of the stretch. Back through to first. Close play. Scheffler in safely. Good move by Gatlin.
Here a chance to see the young man. Looks behind him.
1-2 pitch. There goes a runner. Swing. Fly ball to left field. DiDonato, long run. Gets under it. Just almost overruns the ball. Makes the catch. So Coldonado retired on a fly ball to left field. That's 1 out in the second.
Coldonado retired. John Miller, the pitcher in today's game, at the plate.
Well, Scheffler was running on the pitch.
Miller batting .267 coming in.
Come on, John, move around, base hit.
John also a junior.
There goes the runner. Line drive, right center field. It's going to get past Barrows. They're going to send the runner. Here comes Scheffler heading to the plate. He's going to score. Sterling ties it up here in a second. Double by John Miller into the gap in right center, just over the reach of Rick Koss at second base. So Sterling playing hit and run there. Able to get the runner all the way around from first base.
And that's Miller's first double of the season.
And a big RBI ties the ball game.
Coming up now, Jay Brook. Jay Brook we saw during basketball season at Sterling. Jay batting .286.
Ground ball right back at the pitcher. Gatlin checks the runner over to Melfi at first. Brook retired on 1 pitch. 2 outs in the second inning.
Bottom of the order, Frank Gagliardi up at the plate. Gagliardi has only had 9 at-bats thus far this season. He's got 3 hits for an average of .333.
Come on, now we need a base hit. Come on, Frank.
Gagliardi gets a good cut at the fastball.
Come on, Frank, you can do a base hit.
Foul tip, strike 1.
So I'm seeing more and more parents starting to come out now. Tough game to have a morning game.
Come on, Frankie.
Good breaking ball by Gatlin there. No balls, 2 strikes to Gagliardi.
Frank, what do you say, Frank?
Frank, come on, Frank.
Bob, I'm waiting for you to comment on shoe fashions.
The high tops this year?
Mhm.
Outside for ball 2. You wonder who starts these fashions. 2 years ago, none of these kids, if you gave them a pair of high tops, they wouldn't have put them on.
They'd be hysterical.
Two balls, 2 strikes to Gagliardi. Strike 3 called. Sterling retired here in the second, but not before they score 1 run on 2 hits. They leave.
Welcome back. Top of the 3rd inning here at Sterling High School. It's the Knights 1. The Collingswood Panthers 1. And there's Coach Ron Ross. He's down in the coach's area on the third base side.
Anthony Laddick to lead off here for Collingswood in the 3rd inning.
And he hits that one foul for 1 strike.
Come on, John.
Little grounder down to Jim Blair. Blair over to first to Bill Peters. And he's safe.
It's a tough play. Scheffler cut in front of Blair, took the throw. Good speed down to first base by Laddick. Infield single.
What's an order, bunt? The bunt defense on. Right?
Up now the pitcher, Jerry Gateline.
Gateline flew out to left field in the first inning.
Ball 1. Laddick on first, nobody out. We are in the top of the 3rd. Waiting for the sun to come out.
Cammy, I know right off the bat you love SKD's. Remember the Latin Club.
Oh yeah, here he goes over to Laddick over to second, and he's in under the tag.
Well, Sterling read it. They had the pitch out. It's a good pitch. Baker just couldn't get it down there in time.
So now Collingswood with a runner on second, nobody out.
Stolen base number 6 for Laddick this season.
Pitch middle. Get away.
Come on, Blue.
Count 1-1 to the batter.
Come on, John.
Flies that one out to Jay Brook in center, and Brook gets it, and here's the runner heading for third. Laddick makes it standing up.
Good heads-up play by Laddick. He went right back to the bag when the ball went in the air.
And Gatlin flies out and advances the runner, and we've got 1 out. Up now, John Melfi.
Hey! Hey! Possible squeeze? Hey!
And Ralph Townsend, I call him Bill again. Ralph Townsend comes out here and he says, look for the squeeze here. He's got the infield coming up.
Well, Melfi walked in the first and scored the only Collingswood run.
Come on, Jack. Come on, John.
Melfi leading the team in RBIs with 9.
Pops it up in the infield. Coming over Peters.
Another big out there by John Miller. Getting the number 4 hitter to pop up in the infield.
The two-way here in the top of the 3rd. And Matt Boyer at the plate for Collingswood. Laddick on 3rd. It's Matt Boyer. Boyer takes high, ball 1.
Boyer tried to sacrifice in the second inning. Dropped a good bunt down the first base side. Gagliardi late covering from second. He was safe for an infield single.
Flies that one back out of play.
Come on, John. One more.
Counts 1-1 now to Boyer. 2 outs with Laddick of the Panthers on 3rd. All tied up at 1.
Good God.
Tie for ball 2, 2-1.
Johnny Miller! Pick up, Frank. Pick up your way.
Ball 3, 3 balls, 1 strike.
Come on, John. One more.
Inside for ball 4. So runners on the corners now with 2 out in the top of the 3rd. As Boyer takes first, Laddick on 3rd. Up now, Rick Koss.
Third walk issued by Miller, giving up 3 hits and 3 walks. Koss popped up to the shortstop, Jim Blair, in the 2nd inning.
Ball 1. And Ron Ross on the third base side gives the signs over to Boyer on first. He's got Laddick on third.
Goes a runner.
You know what that sign was, Bob. And there he is as he stands up. So now Panthers with runners on second and third. 2 out.
Well, Sterling electing to play percentages there with 2 outs. Unless they got a real good shot at the runner, they give him second base.
Koss with a big cut at that one. One ball, 2 strikes now to Koss. It's down low for ball 2. It gets away from the catcher, but they hold the runner at third. Chris Baker quickly retrieving the ball, getting it back to John Miller.
Koss with 8 RBIs, just one behind team leader John Melfi. Base hit here could get him 2, take the team lead.
Come on, John, you can do it!
See Miller staying in the stretch with a man on second and third.
Full count now to the batter Koss. Gets the mud out of those high top baseball shoes. Gets him a strike at the knees. Call third strike here as inning ends. It'll be the top of the order, Bob Shelley for the Sterling Silver Knights as we open the bottom of the 3rd. It's a 1-1 tie, Collingswood and Sterling in a dogfight. Gateline gets that one in there for a call strike. Shelley will be followed by Chris Baker and Bill Peters.
Hey, Bobby, say.
So Gateline ahead of the batter here, 0-2.
Shelley 0 for 1, grounded out to third in the 1st inning.
Slow roller hits the grass, but gets over to Melfi at first on time as Laddick picks it up for the out.
Well, Shelley almost beat that. That ball took a long time to get to Laddick.
You can see it just slowed. There's a tuft of grass. In fact, you can see it out there, and it's just sticking up in the air. I don't know if it's loose or the ball just happened to hit that square and kind of rolled.
Chris Baker.
Baker gets the bat on that one as he'll leg it out to first for a single.
Second hit for Baker. He doubled in the 1st inning. Singled here now in the 3rd, 2 for 2. Number 3 batter, Billy Peters. Peters grounded back to the mound in the 1st inning. They got Baker hung up at second base in a rundown. Peters made it as far as second during the rundown where they got Baker out.
Goes for the high, and we have a stolen base, and he's in under the tag, safe. That went up pretty high for catcher Jerry Davidson. By the time he hauled it down and got it out, the runner was in safely.
Well, Sterling playing hit and run there again. Peters protecting the runner, chasing that high pitch. Baker's at second, only one out.
Pops that one up in the air. Right fielder John Bachman over for the out.
What a long run by Bachman. Rick Haas chased the ball, got off it when Bachman made the call. Good play.
2 away here in the bottom of the third. Sterling with a runner on second. Nukowski at the plate.
Nukowski DHing for Jim Blair, the shortstop. Nukowski struck out in the first inning. Nukowski batting .471, only 4 RBIs so far this year.
Strike one swinging. 0-1 to Nukowski, 2 out. And we have children being motioned out of the field.
You don't want to go.
No, he says, what? What do you mean?
Nukowski, 8 hits on the year, all singles. Been on base 8 singles and 4 walks, has scored 7 runs.
Low for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike to Nukowski.
Come on, Tom.
One time.
Low for a ball. 2 balls and a strike. Sterling getting ready for a road trip down to Delaware, Bob. They'll be meeting some of the finest Delaware baseball teams on their spring trip. Three and 1 as Nukowski thought better about it and didn't go after that one.
And talking to Ralph Townsend, they're excited about this trip. This is he feels another step towards building the program, making it more successful than it already is.
Nukowski goes right through the glove of Anthony Ladick, and we're going to have the runner coming home. Play at the plate. Runner is safe. The Knights go up 2-1.
Well, Nukowski just got it past Laddick, and it got off of his glove. It slowed it up, made it a tougher play for Barrows with 2 outs. They kept Baker running. He came around to score.
Up now, Bill Scheffler. So Scheffler goes over to Ralph Townsend to talk things over.
Come on, Bill.
Come on, Bill.
2 out. Nukowski on first. Scheffler at the plate.
No, I have a big down there. I think we can. All right, no stuff.
And that's fair ball as it hits the bag at third and keeps going into the outfield. Nukowski dives, and he get that with. They almost had a play there at third.
Good strong throw by DiDonato. Boyer dug it out.
Nukowski extending his tall frame out to the bag.
Bill Scheffler goes all the way to second on the play at third base. Good heads-up base running.
So now with 2 outs, Sterling with 2 on, second and third. And again, Townsend goes over to talk to his batter. Mike Coladonato, our South California Southern California transfer.
Colorado 0 for 1. Flew out to left field in the second inning.
Come on, Mike, you can do it.
Now Gateline will stay in the stretch with 2 outs here.
Little chopper over to Anthony Laddick. Laddick with the long throw over to John Melfi at first for the 3rd out of the inning. So Collingswood bites the bullet there, and they get away giving up only 1 run. But the Sterling Silver Knights go up 2-1 as we end. Welcome back. What a way to start here, the top of the 4th, as batter up for Collingswood, DiDonato. DiDonato singles on here to open the 4th, and we've had a change at 3rd as John Moyer comes in for Scheffler. And here we have a chance to see John Moyer just enters the game here in the top of the 4th. Caught us all by surprise here.
Greg Davidson.
Bunt, nice bunt.
Ooh.
Okay, they're that was everything there looked like it was in slow. A little bit.
Miller started. He stepped towards second base,
Yep.
but he threw to first. He thought he was going to second base, took the sure out at first base. So Davidson gets the job done with the sacrifice bunt.
I think everyone, including our director, was looking to second base here. Eric Barros up now for Collingswood.
Barros walked in the first inning.
Fouls that one back for strike 1. Eric Barros at the plate. Okay, the time called here as they retrieve the ball from behind the backstop. Jim Blair, his position over at short.
Barros comes in hitting .411, 7 hits with 17 times at the plate.
Infield coming in, looking for the bunt, but he fouls it up over the backstop.
Now there's a play where this overhanging backstop works to the batter's advantage. That pop foul was straight up in the air. Normal circumstances, Baker would have had an easy play on it. The backstop hangs almost out over the plate. Anything in foul territory is going to hit that backstop. It's a big break for Collingswood there.
And we see Jerry Davidson. It's Greg DiDonato. Correction, Greg DiDonato.
Yeah, you can do it. Very straight.
It's Wood on that one. See, they're bringing the runner home. Throw is cut off at first base. So Collingswood ties it up here in the top of the 4th. It's a 2-2 ball game.
That's what makes baseball so neat, Cammy. Ron Ross trying to sacrifice with Burrows just to move the runner up. He fouls the pitch back. The next pitch, he slams a base hit RBI to tie the game.
So this will bring up the top of the order John Bachman for the Panthers.
Bachman 0 for 2, grounded out to second, popped up to right field. So fundamental baseball by Collingswood. Single, bunt, and a base hit gets the run home.
Bachman came in swinging on that one as it drops in for a base hit. So the Panthers now runners on first and second. It's a 2-2 ball game.
That ball hung up a long time. Brook came in and then elected to play it on a bounce. The ball stayed up in the air a long time. So 3 singles in the inning so far by Collingswood.
You know, when we talked to Ron Ross at the beginning of the game, and he had said that, well, this last game at Pittman's brought the batting averages up quite a bit, but I think it gave him a lot of batting practice, too. Collingswood looking good here at the plate. Laddick up now.
Well, 3 solid base hits in the inning.
It's in for a strike.
Ladick flew out to right in the first inning, was safe on an infield single.
It's that one in, bobbled momentarily, and that's not a good throw, and we're going to have the runner advance all the way to home here as Barrows crosses the plate with the go-ahead 3-2. And the Panthers now runners on second and third. Now they're calling the infield here in here to talk things over on the mound. We'll see if Ralph Townsend opts to visit the mound here.
Laddick hit that ball in a hole. Blair was playing over up the middle for the double play. Going to his right, the only play he had was at third. I think he had a shot. If he made a good throw to Moyer, he might have had a play at third base on Barrows. Threw the ball on the inside. Moyer couldn't reach over the runner. The ball got passed all the way to the fence. We mentioned the defense way off the field here.
This brings up the pitcher, Jerry Gatlin. Popping it up, down, out of play, and out of reach of first baseman Bill Peters. Strike one to Gatlin.
Gatlin flew out to left in the first inning. In the third, he hit a sacrifice fly to center field. Laddick tagging from second to third on the play.
Collingswood ahead right now, 3-2. We are in the top of the fourth. John Miller on the mound for Sterling.
Come on, John, go straight.
Way up over the batter's head. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Heads up, gotta watch the ball. You gotta watch the ball.
Gateline singles it to Frank Gagliardi. Gagliardi over to Bill Peters for the out.
Good job by Peters holding the bag to pull them off. He was able to hang on. So Bachman comes in to score. Laddick moves up to third.
It's a 4-2 ball game now for Collingswood as they're having a big top of the fourth.
So give Gateline an RBI.
Melfi at the plate. Melfi with a little bouncer and bobbled by John Moyer, who recently came in to cover third, and Laddick crosses. So it's now 5-2, a big fourth inning.
A little slow roller. Moyer had to hustle to make the play just off the heel of his glove.
Now problems abounding here for Sterling in the top of the fourth. Matt Boyer up now for the Panthers. It's 2 away. Runner on first for Collingswood. Low for a ball.
Boyer was safe on a bunt single in the second inning, walked and stole a base in the third.
Boyer again popped up. Possible play, Bill Peters couldn't make that one. Good try that time by Peters.
Home plate umpire Bill Bittner was that ball would have been no good had Peters made the catch. He was across the line, the white chalk line down there, which designates the out of play area.
Behind which is our Garden State Cable TV truck containing JR.
Could have made that play, I think.
Yep. JR down the right field side.
Come on, Blue, big defense out there.
Melfi's at first base, has 3 stolen bases. There he goes.
There he goes. And he's safe. And there was a difference of opinion here amongst the Sterling fans on that one.
That was a good pitch. Boyer swung right on through the fastball. Melfi got a good jump. I'm sorry, that's his first stolen base of the year.
They makes good on the attempt.
Thank God he's not blessed with his father's speed cam. I played a lot of ball with his father, and his father would still be running. His father's in the stands. I see him over there watching.
Up high for a ball. 2 balls, 2 strikes now, 2 out. We are in the top of the 4th, and it's a 5-2 ball game with the Panthers up. Panthers rally for 4 runs thus far in the 4th. Boyer flies out. Mike Coladonato for the 3rd out of the inning, but the Panthers rally here for 3 runs, and they go up 5-2. We'll be back. Welcome back, 5-2, and as we go into the bottom of the 4th inning of play, the Collingswood Panthers had a big top of the 4th. They put 4 across the plate, went ahead. It's a 5-2 ball game.
Pitcher John Miller to lead off here for Sterling in their 4th. Miller doubled in the 2nd inning.
Jerry Gatelin on the mound for Collingswood.
Noah has an RBI with that double, knocking in Bill Scheffler with Sterling's first run.
Up high for ball. Two balls, no strikes. Two balls and a strike. He goes for the low pitch in the dirt. Stays alive, fouling it back. 2-2. A lot of activities coming up in the spring for Collingswood High School, and we're going to talk about that as our broadcast continues. Count is full now to the batter, 3-2.
Come on, John.
John Miller looking for a hit here. Lines it into center field. Eric Barrows gets under it. 1 away.
Center fielder Jay Brook. Brook 0 for 1, bounce back to the pitcher. Brook hitting .231 entering today's game.
Brook fouls that one down the third base side for a strike. I want to remind the parents at Collingswood High School that on the 29th of April, senior trip meeting will be held, so the parents will learn about what the rules and regulations are for the seniors' departure for Florida.
Are there rules on the senior trips? Do they still have rules when they get down there?
Have rules on the senior trip, right. Up high for a ball. And Bob, we will not add any commentary on how horrible we were on our senior class trips.
Speak for yourself, Connie.
Down low in the dirt.
Brook 3 for 13 on the year, all singles. Has 4 RBIs.
Swings through that one. The count is 2-2 to Jay Brook. Goes down swinging here.
Tell the umpire, Jack.
And that'll bring up the number 9 batter. Well, looks like we may have a change. See who's coming in, number 34. And I don't think we've got.
Gonna have you on, Jeff. Come on, Dave.
We don't. So we're going to have to check with Coach Townsend.
The 34 is Jeff Meyer.
Okay, well, Meyer takes low for a ball.
He's pinch hitting for Frank Gagliardi.
Big swing for strike one. 1-1.
Make sure it's in. Gotta be you. Gotta be you.
Meyer, just 4 plate appearances so far this year, has 1 hit.
2 balls and a strike to Meyer. We don't think he's related to John Meyer, our director.
Too late, Jeff.
If he is, he won't admit it.
Right. Up high, 3 balls, 1 strike to Meyer. So Meyer issued a walk here in the bottom of the 4th.
Well, the pinch hitter does his job and gets on base, keeps the inning alive for leadoff batter Bob Shelley. Shelley 0 for 2, grounded to third and grounded to short.
4, 3, 4, go.
Sterling down 5-2 and looking for some runs. See what Townsend has Shelley doing here. Lines it over the head. Greg DiDonato in left field misjudged that a little bit, and here comes the runner. He'll score.
You're right, Cammy. DiDonato had plenty of time to get back. He drifted back rather than running back to the ball. And it'll be a double for Shelley. Meyer comes in to score.
5-3 ball game here. And Ron Ross will visit the mound.
This is just one of those visits for encouragement. He's got to tell him, not your fault. Shake it off. Forget about it. We still have a 2-run lead.
See catcher Davidson out there also.
The walks come back to haunt you. There's another example. 2-out walk issue to the pinch hitter Meyer. Comes around to score. Chris Baker doubled in the first. Singled and scored a run in the third. Stole a base in that inning also. Baker coming in, hitting .391, so he raised that average with his 2 for 2 day so far.
Hits that one out to center fielder Eric Barros. Moves under it. 3rd out of the inning. So Sterling comes up with 1 and narrows the. Welcome back. Some of the crowd enjoying a great baseball game here. It's a 5-3 game as the Collingswood Panthers surprising a little bit here for the Sterling Silver Knights. Beginning of the season, we really anticipated a tight race in the Colonial Conference, and that we have, as Collingswood, Sterling, Haddonfield, and Paulsboro all giving chase to the league leader, Audubon Green Wave. And we have a pitching change right now for Sterling. A chance to see the young man on the mound. We have Brian Prince, a sophomore. So Prince on the mound for Sterling as Miller comes out. I'm not sure if Miller came out of the game, and Ralph Townsend's coming over to give Bob Marlowe the information right now on changes that have been made. Okay, and I think we've put Miller. Miller has Miller's at short as he comes off the mound, and Scheffler is re-entering at third.
Meyer stays in the game to get Gagliardi. He's still batting in the 9 hole, playing first base. Gagliardi's out.
Okay, we have massive changes here from Ralph Townsend, and we're going to get all of these in order. While Bob takes a look at that, we're going to continue to give an update on Collingswood upcoming events during May 4th through 8th. The annual Humanities Week and Spring Arts Festival will be held. There will be opera on May the 4th with tenor James Caputo. Rick Koss, a slip of the tongue there on John Koss. We're going to talk more about him in a bit. Rick Koss takes call strike. Rick Koss's brother John was named Outstanding Tournament Wrestler in the NJSIA Wrestling Tournament in Atlantic City. Takes strike two. John Koss, as many of you remember, was Outstanding Tournament Wrestler in Region 7 here on Garden State Cable when he literally wrestled on one leg. Repeated that same performance through the state tournament. An extremely courageous young man who faced knee reconstructive surgery. So Rick Koss here strikes out. The Prince comes in here, young sophomore on the mound for Ralph Townsend and the Sterling Silver Knights, and he eliminates batter number 1, bringing up Greg DiDonato. And Bob, you got so many changes, you've run out of places to write here. As many changes made by Coach Townsend.
On third base, Bill Scheffler re-enters the game, will play third. John Miller moves to shortstop from the pitcher. Bill Peters moves from first to second. Jeff Meyer stays in the game, and he'll play first base. Meyer's entered in the 9th batting spot for Frank Gagliardi.
It's low ball 2 to DiDonato.
Prince stays in number 4 spot. Tom Nukowski will still DH for Prince.
Foul down the third base side. Strike 1. 2 balls, 1 strike to DiDonato. We have 1 out here in the top of the 5th.
DiDonato had an RBI double in the 2nd, singled and scored a run in the 4th.
Three balls and a strike to DiDonato.
Pitching line on John Miller, 4 innings, gave up 5 runs on 5 hits, issued 3 walks, had 2 strikeouts.
DiDonato lines one out to center fielder Jay Brook. He takes it for the 2nd out.
Catcher Jerry Davidson. Davidson struck out looking in the 2nd. Sacrifice bunt in the 4th.
Davidson over the head of John Miller at short, and he picks up a single. So with 2 outs, Collingswood has a runner on first. Brings up number 9 batter Eric Barros.
Barros walked in the 2nd, had an RBI single in the 4th. There's a runner.
Swings through the low pitch, and the runner is safe on second.
Burr swinging at the ball in the dirt just to protect the runner. Ball got past Baker.
Low for a ball. One ball, one strike now to Eric Barros. It's a 5-3 Collingswood lead. That one's low, the runner stays.
Ball gets past Baker, but again with the short backstop. Davidson no chance to advance.
Brian, you can dance. Stay straight. Reset, reset.
Brian Prince came in relief of John Miller. Struck out the first batter. Soft one tapped over to the mound. Prince over to first, to Jeff Byer for the out. Welcome back. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning of play. It's a 5-3 Collingswood Panther lead over the Sterling Silver Knights. And up at the plate right now, Bill Peters for Sterling.
Peters 0 for 2, safe on a fielder's choice, flew out to right field in the third.
Strike 2 to the batter. So Gateline still on the mound here for Collingswood, ahead of the batter, 0-2. Out to center field. And he misses the ball. Eric Barros pedaling backwards. Drops the ball. Peters cruises into second base. And you can hear the, we have some young ladies sitting behind us here in the stand saying, miss it, miss it, miss it. And Eric Barros, looks like he got jinxed out there a little bit. Newkowski now at the plate for Sterling.
Well, that's one of those balls, again, carried a little further than Barrows thought. He had room for the ball. He backpedaled on the ball rather than getting back on it. Just hit off of his glove. Newkowski struck out in the first, singled in the third, got as far as third base.
A big opportunity here for Newkowski. Peters on second. Nobody out.
Newkowski way, way up in the front of the batter's box. Turns to bunt.
Good rolls right on the grass.
That's almost a sure sign of a bunt, Cammy, with the batter way up in front of the plate so he's in fair territory when he drops the bunt down. Good job.
So the runners advance to third. Gatelin over to Melfi for the first out. But Sterling here with a runner in scoring position. And up Bill Scheffler.
Scheffler in the second, singled and scored a run, singled in the third. He's 2 for 2.
Takes ball one.
Gateline pitching out of the windup with the runner at third and one out. Corners first and third are playing up. Middle of the infield's back.
Low for a ball, runner holds at third. Davidson gets that one out of the dirt. High for a ball. Okay, and you can hear Ralph Townsend actually in our headsets telling his batter he's got the green light here.
He wants him to hit in this position.
Except that he took a look at that one, but it was in for a strike.
That was a good pitch by Gately. Way down low. You get that green light, it's not automatic you're swinging. You're looking for a pitch in your zone, something you can drive hard.
Gateline goes there for the low fastball. A little bit of wind kicking up here now. So with a full count, Gateline loses the batter. Sterling Silver Knights with runners on the corners.
Second walk issued by Gateline. Mike Coladonato. Coladonato 0 for 2, flew out to left, grounded out to short.
Sterling with just one out. They are down by 2 runs. So Coladonato representing here the go-ahead run. The runner started charging the plate.
See if they elect to try to steal Scheffler here, try to get this run home. Throw back.
I think we should put a mic sometime on our coaches. Little advice to our director.
That was a good spot to steal.
Yep.
See if they throw through. There he goes.
Foul back. The runner will head back for first.
Coladonato had a good swing at the ball.
Come on, Mike, you can do it. Base hit.
Say 39, come on now, line drive.
You said, Mike, what do you say?
Sterling runners on the corners. Got him around the wrists as it foul down the first base side.
Good heads-up play by Peters on the third base runner. Melfi with his back to the infield chasing that ball. Peters heading right back to third base. Been able to tag up. Melfi running away from the plate had he made the catch.
Scheffler down on first base.
See if they elect to run Scheffler again. A lot of strategy in this situation. There he goes.
Pitches up high. In with no problem.
Well, Rick Koss, second baseman, coming over in front of the bag to take the throw, hoping to catch Peters off of third base. They give the runner second base.
So the runners on second and third, one out.
Mike, come on, Mike.
And Coladonato with a chance to tie the score here.
Come on, 3-9, we need a base hit now. Come on now, 3-9.
He hangs in there. He fouls it back.
One deck hitter, hey, one deck hitter, coaching him in.
Come on, 3-9, you can do it. Base hit. You said, Mike, what do you say?
Come on, 3-9, we need a base hit. Come on now, line drive, Mike.
Gateline steps off.
Come on, Mike, wait on it.
One of the balls is right from the out.
Come on, 3-9, base hit, 3-9.
Coladonato hits that one into the outfield, and they're holding the runner up, so one run crosses the plate here. Collingswood delivers as the gap now 1 run, 5-4. Panthers ahead by 1. Sterling still with runners at the corners.
Good play by DiDonato in left field. He came up with the short hop. Was able to keep the runner, Scheffler, from scoring.
So Scheffler at third.
Come on, another base hit.
This is Miller. Miller, who began the game on the mound, moved over to short.
Say, John, what do you say?
Watch the pick.
Big strike.
Yes.
And the ball slow getting over to second as now Sterling with runners on second and third. It's a 5-4 ball game with Ron Ross's Panthers ahead by 1. The bottom of the 5th inning.
Johnny Miller, facing now Johnny Miller.
Johnny, say, John.
Miller chases the high fastball and strikes out, so a big strikeout that time for Jerry Gatelin.
Strikeout number 4 for Gatelin. Good fastball up in the eyes.
Up now, the number 8 batter, Jay Brook.
Center fielder Jay Brook grounded back to the mound in the 2nd inning, struck out in the 4th.
Hands up. Hands up.
You say, Jay, what do you say?
Brooke, base hit, Brooke.
Come on, Jay.
Runners on second and third, 2 out. Looks at ball 1.
Jay, wait on it.
Time called here as we've got Ralph Townsend coming over.
Going to get a pinch hitter now with 1 ball on the batter. We're going to see Fran Collins stepping in to pinch hit.
Come on, Fred.
Come on, Frank Sloth.
So Collins
Sloth.
inherits the 1 ball count.
Go, Franny.
Galen gets it in there for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Come on, Fred. Now you're ready. Get one out. Yeah, hit her.
Go, Fran.
Gets it right back to Gatlin at the mound. Over to first for the easy out. So Sterling picks up a run, but Bachman at the plate for Collingswood. Collingswood with a 5-4 lead here. We're in the top of the 6th inning of play. Bob Marlowe and Cammie Trinidad here for Garden State Cable TV. Colonial Conference action from Sterling High School. And Sterling drew within 1 in the 5th inning.
Well, Gatelin made a big play on that ball right back at the mound. If that gets over his head.
Big defense out there, Blair.
Bachman 1 for 3. Singleton scored a run in the 4th.
How should be feeling? Any better?
Brian Prince on in relief of John Miller.
Bachman's a senior. He still also hasn't made up his mind as to where he would like to attend school next year. It's a tough time of year for those seniors. They've got the choices, and they've got to know they're trying to make the right one. Tough time for the parents, too, as the kids vacillate back and forth.
Line drive, center field, base hit.
Well, that wasn't a tough one for Bachman. His decision there, he swung and hit the ball.
2nd hit given up by Brian Prince. Bachman, the leadoff runner here in the 6th.
Up now, Anthony Ladick. He'll be followed by Jerry Gateline.
Laddick flew out to right in the 1st inning, had an infield single in the 3rd, was safe on a fielder's choice and scored a run in the 4th. Big lead at first base by Bachman. Prince throws over that way.
Laddick, also a junior. He also has college plans in the offing.
There's a runner, pitch down low. Strong throw, no play at second base.
A good job on the base running there by Collingswood as Ron Ross has his runner advanced to second. Laddick, also a fine soccer player. He was All Colonial Conference and All South Jersey Group 2.
Come on, Brian, throw straight.
2 balls, no strikes to Anthony Laddick.
Both Collingswood and Sterling, Group 2 schools. Some interesting competition in Group 2 now with Cinnaminson in the fray.
Good pitch at the knees for strike 1.
Of course, we're still a little ways from cutoff time.
Two 2-1 pitch on the way. Breaking ball gets past
the runner.
Baker.
Stands up and takes third.
A breaking ball. Baker couldn't stay with it. Bachman makes it to third easily.
Come on, Blair, big defense.
3 balls, 1 strike on Anthony Laddick.
Come on, Brian, throw straight.
Fouls it straight back. Count now full. Bachman at third, nobody out. Big insurance run there if Collingswood can get him home. 5-4 Collingswood lead. We're in the top of the 6th. Pop up in the infield. Second baseman Bill Peters back on the grass, puts it away. So Laddick retired, out number 1 in the 6th. Bachman has to hold at third.
So Gatelin up now for Collings with a chance to give his own cause a little bit of a cushion here. He's the pitcher in today's game, leading it right now 5-4. Panther on third.
Gatelin flew out to left, flew out to center, and grounded to second. Pop up right side again, Peters. Squeezes. 2 outs now for Collingswood in the 6th. Bachman still at third.
That'll bring up the first baseman, John Melfi.
Melfi walked and scored a run. Popped up to first base. Was safe on an error and stole a base in the 4th.
Melfi also played on the basketball and football teams for Collingswood. Melfi right now undecided between Rutgers and Widener.
Strike called at the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike on Melfi. So after the leadoff single by Bachman, he stole the base, got to third on a wild pitch, was there with nobody out. 2 pop-ups. Prince 1 out away of pitching himself out of a real problem here. 2 balls, 1 strike to count on John Melfi. Another pop-up in the infield. Third baseman Scheffler squeezes the ball. Good job by Prince. Collingswood wastes a big opportunity here in the 6th. Okay, I got it.
Sterling's going to try to employ these tools right here, the bats, as they are in the bottom of the 6th inning of play. They're down by a run, 5-4 to the Collingswood Panthers. And we've got a number of changes for the Panthers in the field also.
We got John Melfi on in relief of Jerry Gatlin. Gatlin's going to move over to second base. Mike Corso will enter and play first base. He'll bat in Casa's spot, the number 6 spot.
Up now, Jeff Meyer.
Jeff Meyer entered the game as a pinch hitter in the 4th, walked and scored a run. Meyer to be followed by the top of the order. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Jeff Meyer.
Melfi's pitched 3 1/3 innings in relief so far this season. He's given up 3 runs on 5 hits. Has had 5 strikeouts and has got a 4.20 ERA.
Breaking ball up high. Pitching line on Gatlin, 5 innings pitched. Gave up 4 runs on 9 hits, issued 2 walks and struck out 4. That's up high, count now full, leadoff batter Jeff Meyer. Line drive, left field, long run for DiDonato.
Slides
Makes
in the
the
grass.
sliding catch. Tough play, left-handed batter, ball slicing away from the fielder. DiDonato stayed with it.
So there's 1 away here in the bottom of the 6th.
Don't start us all over.
No.
Top of the order, Bob Shelley. Shelley 1 for 3, doubled in the 4th, grounded to short in the 3rd, grounded to 3rd in the 1st inning.
Come on, Bobby.
Gets the breaking ball over for strike 1.
Come on, Sally. Come on, Bobby. Silly.
Line drive, foul. Show you a little bit out in front of the pitch. We've got a good one going here. Colonial Conference playoff atmosphere, Cammie.
That's right. And again, as we had said with both of these teams in Group 2, little preview of Group 2 action too. Again, continuing in our report on Collingswood activities, May 7th and 8th, you can see Broadway Review 2 for $3 at Collingswood High School.
Good pitch by Melfi. Good 0-2 pitch. Shelley way out in front, just dribbled it off the end of the bat back to the mound.
2 away now here in the bottom of the 6th.
Catcher Chris Baker doubled in the 1st, singled in the 3rd, and flew out to right field. Had a stolen base and a run scored.
Come on, babe, come on.
Takes inside for a ball 1. John Melfi on in relief of Jerry Gateline. Down low, 2 balls, no strikes to Chris Baker.
You see now, Big?
Ground ball towards third. Boyer over to first. Corso puts it away. Good job by Melfi on a relief. Retires Sterling here, 3 up, 3 down in the 6th.
Welcome back. It's the top of the 7th inning here at Sterling High School, and right now the Collingswood Panthers holding on to a slim 5-4 lead as the Panthers will come to bat here. And here see some of the crowd as they are viewing the Panthers and the Knights. It's Colonial Conference action here on Garden State Cable, and remember, we've got more Colonial Conference action coming up as the league-leading Audubon Green Wave will take on the Haddonfield Bulldogs. See it here on Sunday, May 3rd. The game will also mark the dedication of the Hank Greenberg baseball field, and we want to urge our viewers to come out and see this great event. There'll be all-stars on hand from previous years at Audubon High School. Have a surprise visitor or two from some of the professional ranks. Right now, Matt Boyer up for Collingswood.
Boyer lined out to left field. His last at bat, walked and stole a base in the third, was safe on a bunt single in the second. Swings and misses at Prince's first delivery. 1 ball, 1 strike now, the count on Matt Boyer.
Boyer, another of the undecideds. He's choosing between St. Mary's, Millersville, Shippensburg, and Ursinus. He'd like to study political science.
Pop foul out of play. Prince ahead, 1 ball, 2 strikes. 7th inning action here from Sterling. Collingswood holding on to a 5-4 lead. The big 4-run 4th inning, the difference so far in the ball game. Swings and misses. Strike 3, chases the breaking ball outside.
We'll have to check to see who's up next. We had some changes in the field. It's Corso up now.
This will be Mike Corso. He's in at first base. He entered in the batting spot of Rick Koss.
Of course, he's only had 5 at-bats this year. He's gotten 1 hit.
Come on, guys, first right now.
2 balls, no strikes to Mike Corso.
Corso, also a junior. He's active in the school's environmental club.
Three balls, 1 strike. Corso draws the walk. First walk issued by Prince. It's a 1-out base runner for Greg D. Donato. Donato 2 for 3, doubled in the second. Singled and scored a run in the 4th. Flew out to center field in the 5th inning. D. Donato way up in the box. Almost stepping out of the batter's box. Takes up high for ball 1. Collingswood with that 4 spot in the 4th inning. The difference, Sterling scoring a run each 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th inning. Ground ball, foul, just foul down third base.
Well, we've got Ralph Townsend standing here in front of the fence. You can just see him. Watch that ball hop down.
1 ball, 1 strike to Greg DiDonato. Catcher Jerry Davidson waiting on deck.
Come on, Blue. Big defense. Come on, Brian. First strikes.
What's the middle, John? Okay.
Line drive, center field. Collins going back, reaches over his head. He can't get the ball. Corso got a late jump. He's heading for third. They'll have to hold him there.
And Corso was just standing on the bag at second, watching the ball in the air. It's really kind of taken aback as it, and that's happened now to both sides here. Collingswood also had a similar incident in center field.
Yeah, again, that's a catchable ball. Collins backpedaled. You could see he was having trouble with the ball as it came off the bat. Never got back to the ball. Tried to make a stab at it.
This brings up the catcher, Davidson. Collingswood with 1 out. Runners on second and third. And they're up 5-4.
So Collingswood had a runner at third last inning with nobody out. Couldn't get the run home. Now they have second and third with 1 out. Davidson struck out looking in the second. Had a sacrifice bunt in the fourth. Ground ball towards third. Good play by Schleffler. Long throw.
There go, Billy. Hey, Billy.
Good play by Jeff Meyer hanging onto the bag over there at first base.
Number 9 batter, Eric Barrows, the center fielder, up now for Collingswood. 2 out, 2 on. 5-4 lead. We are in the top of the 7th. A very tense Colonial Conference contest.
There you go, Brian.
Good pitch on the corner for strike 1. Corso at third, DiDonato at second. 2 outs in the 7th. Barrows steps out. Coach Ron Ross from Collingswood would love to get these 2 runs in here. Ground ball back towards the middle. Gets through Miller. Here's 1 run. Here comes a 2nd run. DiDonato's going to score. So not a hard hit ball by Burris, a little hopper. Miller had trouble getting over to the ball. It hopped over his glove.
2 big runs crossing the plate. It's now a 7-4 ball game. Insurance runs for the Panthers here in the top of the 7th. 2 out. John Bachman at the plate for the Panthers.
Bachman 2 for 4, 2 singles. There goes the runner. They pitch out. Strong throw down to the outside of the bag and no play on Barrows. So again, Sterling had the play. They pitched out. Baker's throw to the shortstop side of the bag. Peters couldn't make the tag. Barrows with the stolen base. Count on Bachman, 1 ball, no strikes. Takes that pitch outside, ball 2.
Come on, Blue. Get it together. Come on, Brian. First strikes.
3 balls, no strikes to John Bachman. The Prince loses Bachman on 4 pitches. That puts Collingswood runners at first and second with 2 outs.
Up now, Anthony Laddick.
Laddick 1 for 4 today with a run scored.
Come on, Brian. We need 1
Collingswood
more.
up 7-4, top of the 7th inning.
Hop up in the infield. Play for Scheffler. Drops the ball in foul territory. A little bit of hard luck for pitcher Brian Prince. Couple catchable balls could have been out of this inning with no damage. One strike to count on Anthony Laddick. One ball, one strike. Ground ball towards third. Scheffler over to first. Puts it away, so Collingswood here in the 7th scores 2 runs on 2 hits. They leave 2. We head into...
Welcome back. Bottom of the 7th inning here from Sterling High School. The Knights down right now, 7-4 to the Collingswood Panthers. Last chance here for Sterling.
Bill Peters to lead off the 7th for Sterling, facing John Melfi. Melfi came on in relief of Jerry Gatline.
Collingswood entered the 7th inning up 5-4, added 2 insurance runs to help their cause.
Takes a strike call. How many different ways today have I pronounced Gateline's name?
I think we've both done it. It's and I know what's going to happen. Somebody will call up and say, "That's not right."
Which one was it right? Line drive towards short. Laddick up on one bounce. Across the Corso. Peters retired out number 1 here in the 7th.
Up now, Tom Nukowski. Nukowski bound for Princeton on a full scholarship. He has another very interesting activity here at Sterling. He was state finalist in a chess tournament. And he also enjoys classical music. Nukowski, Renaissance man.
Sterling needs base runners here. Trailing 7-4, bottom of the 7th. Long drive, deep left center field, way, way back. Out of here, home run, Tom Nukowski.
So Nukowski, in addition to being a finalist in chess, just blasted his first home run of the season. And you're going to see some happy Silver Knights greeting teammate Tom Nukowski. Towering blast. So now a 7-5 ball game as Nukowski isn't going to let Collingswood slide home very easily here.
Well, those 2 runs Collingswood scored in the top of the 7th now loom really big here. Third baseman Bill Scheffler. Been on base all 3 times today, 2 singles and a walk.
Scheffler, a senior.
Takes strike 1 call.
Scheffler made his own guitar. How about that? Homemade guitar, and he wants to perform on Saturday Night Live.
Ground ball towards third, foul ball.
Just foul.
Umpires today, behind the plate, John Quick. On the bases, Bill Bittner. Excellent job by the men in blue today.
Come on, Bill, wait on it.
Pop up in the infield. Melfi makes the call. Gets past him.
One more time, the girls from Sterling have activated jinx out here as they're calling out miss it, miss it, miss it, and Melfi does.
Coach Ron Ross, whatever he was chewing, he just swallowed. He just threw his hat. He's going to tell these guys just can't. The infield's got to take charge of that ball. They're coming towards the ball. The ball's going to got the spin on it. It's harder for the pitcher to get under that ball than for the infielder coming towards the ball to make the play.
This brings up Mike Caldonado.
Caldonado 1 for 3. Fouls that one back out of play. Strike one.
Caldonado, a Led Zeppelin fan. He also, as we had mentioned earlier, honor student, would like a career in neurosurgery.
Outside for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Sterling down 7-5. 1 away. We are in the bottom of the 7th.
Ground ball, base hit center field. So Caldonado keeps the inning alive for John Miller.
So Caldonado is a good friend and buddy of Tom Nukowski. Follows Nukowski's blast with a single of his own. And now Ron Ross on the mound. Sterling with 1 out. Runners at first and second. Ross out on the mound. Let's see what he decides to do here.
That's a good move by Roscoe. He just wants to have the infield know what they're going to do here. Let them know there's 1 out. The runner at second doesn't mean anything. They have a 2-run lead. Let's get some outs here. Ground ball. Let's make sure we get an out somewhere.
Miller up now for Sterling. He represents the go-ahead run here in the 7th inning, the winning run to be exact, as it's a 7-5 ball game.
Come on, John. Base hit. Move around.
Fly ball left field. Donato puts it away. So Sterling down to their final out.
Come on, Frank.
Up now, Fran Collin. Two outs. Runners on first and second. Sterling down 7-5. It's the bottom of the 7th.
Fly ball, center field. This should do it. Barrows under it. Puts it away. Collingswood hangs on for a final 7-5 victory.